Okay, hello. We are on live streaming now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunarism with Christine Skinner. Once a month, we will meet each other here and just have a little bit astrology chit chat, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Just talk about the weather.
Well, we have to talk about the weather because there's nothing happening in the world.
I know, boring. So,
It's
how are
not-
you, Christine?
Okay, well, I'm going to start by telling you that I got into the house last night just after midnight from my trip to
Oh my
Istanbul.
God. Oh my God.
And
Okay.
I want to tell you a little bit about that.
Yes, please.
So, should we do that first?
Yes, yes.
So, I was concluding, I prepared this course, The Foundation of Financial Astrology.
Yeah.
And the students had had 5 weeks online, and then it was concluding with a 2 day workshop.
Uh-huh.
And the important thing about the workshop was that it should be tailored to them. What were they interested in? So there are over 40 students, so a lot of requests,
Wow.
right? So as they came in, everybody had either put gold or silver down, right? So okay, fine, that's but I hadn't realized until well, I'll tell you in a minute. I hadn't realized how important that was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So normally when I've been teaching a similar type thing, a workshop in the States or here or in Canada, whatever, people want to know about which companies to invest in, right?
Yeah.
Don't go on about gold and silver because we don't think in that kind of way. So
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
wasn't until we had a small afternoon break and we went to the Grand Bazaar, and I realized then that gold and silver is the big thing. Well, of course, you come from the East, and so therefore you're with this, but you also live
Everyone.
here. You live here. So
Yeah.
you know full well we don't talk about the price of gold or the price of silver. That's not a British, we don't,
I
it's
know.
not a British thing. So I really had to adjust my thinking. It turned out to be the most fabulous weekend. And in fact, it spawned something else, which is a whole other story. But
Ooh.
so really, I had to really drop myself in on another level. It was very, very exciting and really, really cool to be with a completely different mindset. I mean, totally different. But we had people who'd flown in. Somebody flew in from the Netherlands. One guy had come on a bus, 16 hours on a bus, 16 hours
Whoa.
on a bus from some country, some place I'd never heard of, because
Uh-huh.
he really was desperate to take part in this. So it was really, that bit was really fantastic. But of course, there was gold and silver, but there was also the pending war, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
finally, of
Yeah.
course, Mr. Trump announcing that it was going to be the death of civilization as we've known it. So
Yes.
I wonder if I could possibly just show you my screen for a minute.
Yes, please.
Right? Because since we call this lunar rhythms, I would like
Yes.
you to see this.
Yeah.
So tell me when you got my screen.
Nearly there. Nearly there.
Right. Okay. Have we got the chart? This is it.
Not, not
Well,
yet. Not yet. Still. Yeah. Now we
yeah,
got
got
it.
it. You got it right. So
Yes.
to a lady called Heather Cox Richardson, who times
Mm-hmm.
everything, right?
Yeah.
We got his statement that it was going to be the death of civilization as we'd known it on the 7th of April at 6 minutes past 5 in the morning in Washington.
Mm.
And at that point, the moon was exact to the button on the midheaven in Washington. You've probably done this
Mm.
already, so I'm probably teaching you how to suck eggs, right? However, right, that wasn't the bit that really interested me. The moon was in a quincunx with Jupiter. Well, it's doing that every, twice a
Mm-hmm.
month anyway. So what's the big deal with this? But the big deal about this is that this was happening whilst the moon was out of bounds. Mm.
Mm.
Really quite a lot out of bounds. Wait till you hear the rest of this. It was at 27 degrees and 50 minutes south.
Okay.
So as we know, and the nodal axis was practically on the ascendant descendant axis. As importantly, Astrea, whom I almost think of as being the deal or the contract or something, was
Yeah.
on the eclipse degree. So, but she was hidden in the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, my other new pal, Hygeia,
Hi,
was
Gia.
on the world axis. So this was also saying something about the well-being of the world. This was,
Mm-hmm.
this was a big story. And Venus and Ceres were exactly conjoined at 9 degrees of Taurus, with not very much, not very much space between them. So the reality was, I mean, he really did say, this is what's going to happen. Of course, Mercury, no longer retrograde, but still moving through Pisces, and a lot of confusion there. But it was this was a terror moment, right? And the world felt it, that extreme out of bounds. But look what happened then later in the day, because at, what was the exact time now? 1832 Washington time. Look what happened. He suddenly said, it's all over. It's okay. We won, and no worries about it, blah, blah, right? But look at what had happened, because he actually had a lunar return that day, a lunar half return, rather. Right? And so now the moon had actually gone further out of bounds from 27 degrees 50. It was now at 28:14. It was even more feral than it was before. So that said to me, I'm not sure about this. I don't even know if this is true or not. Then when you look and see that Neptune and Saturn were both, well, Saturn particularly, virtually on the descendant, supposedly the end of the matter, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, with Neptune still hanging about, and with Mars yet to cross Mars has not gone over the world axis yet. So much as I absolutely want to be wrong, right? I'm not happy about this at all. And moreover, because I've just been in Turkey and therefore had to look at the chart for Turkey, which incidentally I should have done a lot more work on before I went. So, smack on the knuckles because I missed that one, right? Because they have their Mars is 7 degrees Aries, right, on the IC, right? Okay. So Saturn is about to slam into that. Right? Now, the day that I arrived, there was talk of a drone attack on one of their ships, actually on the Black Sea. It turned out that was a bit of nonsense and nothing, but they are absolutely on the edge of something. So I don't want to think this way at all, but I actually think that these global conflicts are increasing, because, and it's just been pointed out to me in the last couple of hours, there's Eritrea and Ethiopia. That's another one that's about to spill over. I'd been looking at India and Pakistan because their birthday, obviously the same day, is the 12th of August, when the eclipse slams in. Right? The Russia-Ukraine thing isn't over. Right? In fact, I know war is happening all over the world all the time, but to this degree and this intensity, this really looks like this Pluto, Haumea, this is this big thing, which lasts for a couple of years. My thinking, Rod, is you shouldn't make a forecast unless you can back it up 3, 4, or 5 different ways, right? One thing is not enough. But there are so many things that are pointing now to an economic downturn, probably an economic, custard pie. Please God, it's not the bond markets collapsing, but it could be, right? We've got oil which has gone. I know everybody's excited about the fact that the price came down yesterday, but it's still higher than it was in February. This is far from over. Over. And really, I think we have to wait and see what happens later on today. I think I'm right in saying Mars moves over to Aries tomorrow. Is that right?
Later today. Around 7 p.m. Around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
9 p.m.
Well, you see, I mean, although they've said a ceasefire for the Iran bit, there has been no ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And Lebanon's chart is a really, really tricky one. They have the tightest Mars-Uranus conjunction known to man, I think, right? And it's in the 8th house. I mean, it's not in an easy place in any case. And yeah, I mean, that's a really, really tricky chart. So sadly, and I absolutely want to be wrong, I think I think we're going to hear some horrible stories over the next few days. The only bright light, and we should look for bright lights. You should definitely look for bright lights, is that we've also got Artemis coming back to Earth. right?
Yeah.
And the whole of that, and your comet story. Hopefully you're going to tell me a comet story in a minute.
Okay, I can tell you later.
Tell me later. Okay, all right. But we have, what I'm trying to say is there's an awful lot of stuff happening. Right?
Mm.
And the final thing I was going to discuss with you
Yep.
is next week's new moon. Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is lunar rhythms. We've already said about the declination, but the
Yes.
next week's new moon is exactly conjunct Chiron. Right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
thought, oh, right, okay, well, there's a bit of a problem solver in there. What's that about? What happened this time last year when the sun conjoined Chiron? Can you remember?
No.
We had the tariffs.
Oh, thank God.
We had, 25% to him and 100% to
Yeah,
there and blah, blah,
God.
blah, right? So we're absolutely not out of the woods at all. Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
as I said, I would really like to be wrong. I
Yeah.
would. I don't have any interest in being right. I just would like. These are very difficult patterns.
Yeah.
Very difficult. So, gosh, that we did all that in quite a few minutes, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to tell you that when Trump was born,
Yeah.
he's got Mercury and Pluto both out of bounds.
Ah.
And so the moon hasn't actually yet come back to make the contraparallel to them. And we're
Mm-hmm.
just slightly off that yet. But, you know, it's very easy to think of him as being the crazed one in the White House, right?
Yeah.
You do kind of wonder where this is coming from. This is coming from something that is, I think, goes back centuries or whatever, and he's tuned into it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really yeah, you can't help but wonder, why are we living through this? What is all
Yes.
this about? The geodetics of the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they've had geodetic Uranus lines over Iraq and
Mm-hmm.
Dubai
Mm-hmm.
for quite some time, and
Yes.
and
Yes.
I've got a client who was hoping to buy a place in Dubai, and I kept
Uh-huh.
saying, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this. It seemed insane to think that Dubai would be under any. Why would Dubai be under any pressure, right?
Yeah.
And
That was
now,
mm-hmm.
because it didn't make any logic. You could see the astrology, but a few months ago that was not in the that wasn't in the frame at all.
Definitely,
And,
yes.
and now I'm looking at it. And do you know there's only one country that is not touched by 4 degrees of Aquarius of that area, and that's Oman.
Ah.
So because they all are, if Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, all of them,
Yes.
everybody's got something, and it was until Pluto is well shot of four Aquarius.
Yeah.
I think this. Well, I can't see how the world can go back to the way it was. I mean, I can't see how Dubai can be the attractive stopover or luxury place any
Sure,
longer,
sure.
because its vulnerability is now exposed.
Yeah, everybody talking about it. Like this morning, I chatted with a friend also from Asia, and talking about at this moment the tickets flight to Asia is go super crazy. Just because before you can fly through the all around the Dubai or Doha, so the
Yeah,
ticket gets so cheap, and now it's like get crazy expensive. And also I was arranging the social media for the conference, Astrological Association conference, and some speaker from Asia just contact me, say just like has a little bit concerned. I was like, well, thank you for sharing with me, but I'm not the one who make a decision, But I was like, I was just thinking, how am I going to reply that email? It's not me. I will probably will refer to my boss to reply that. But it's just like you can see this has an impact to everyone. This has an impact to everyone. Yeah.
well, can I tell you on that?
Yeah.
Um, so I was one of the students was very excited about this weekend, and so she said, "Where are you speaking next?" Blah blah blah. So I said about the Chicago conference, and she said, "Oh, she said I'm going to the American embassy." And this is an interesting story too. The
Hmm.
American embassy for Turkey is in Ankara. It's not in Istanbul.
Yeah.
had to go for an interview in Ankara yesterday in order to get the visa,
Mm-hmm.
and they have not approved it.
Oh,
Right. Now,
oh,
this is a lady astrologer from Istanbul, right? I mean,
yeah,
like, this isn't even looking like a young man terrorist or anything. This is, this is completely the other way.
yeah.
And so now I'm thinking, well, if this is if they're not allowing these are new visas, I don't know how it works for people who already have one. But if
Mm-hmm.
this is the case, then the UAC conference is on. I mean, I know they say that they've had very good, that the
Mm-hmm.
hotel is booked and everything, but they're saying that people have said they're going to come, but I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to.
Yeah.
The world is the whole. I don't know. Everything is tipped.
Full of uncertainty. Let me share the new moon chart with you because
Oh yes,
I'm
please. So
the comet. I'm going to talk about comet. So
yeah, please.
unfortunately, the comet people are expecting that kind of a daylight comet, daytime comet, Easter comet. Unfortunately, gone because it was too close to the sun. So
Yeah,
when comet get to the perihelion, it get too close and totally
yeah,
disintegrate. Such a normal fate of a comet. Normal.
yes,
This is a normal fate of a comet, especially for the cruise sun grazer. But at the same time, we have another comet, another Pan-STARRS.
yes.
Another Pan-STARRS is brighter and brighter. We were in the beginning, we weren't expecting going to see it with a naked eye. Now we are sure we're going to see it with a naked eye, but it's not super bright. So you were able to see a star, but not super
But
bright.
not super bright. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
but
still works. Still
yeah,
works. Yeah.
this is the one. Space Weather sent out the thing this morning
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
on
yeah.
that. So we're talking about the same comet. Sorry,
Yeah, we are
listen.
talking about same comet. Yes.
Yes, yeah,
And interesting, what I'm going to share with you is related to new moon because I talk about how ancient astrologer, this is a very common practice. I think our friend Wade or Dr. I learned this from Liliman. She first shared this idea with us is why so many ancient technique using the new moon or full moon before particular event. For example, like new moon before the Aries ingress
yes,
or new moon before the Saturn Jupiter conjunction. Why? That
yeah,
was because they weren't able to uh, calculate at the accurate point. But
yeah,
they are good in calculating new moon and full moon.
yeah,
They just use that to calculate. So comets the same. If we can see comet, then
yeah.
we will place comet's position in the new moon chart and the full moon chart. But at this time, we have a funny things. Okay, let me show
Okay,
you. Now, so if we see the 17th of April, this new moon,
that's the one.
we
Yep,
yeah, this is the one. And we talk about the new moon conjunct Chiron. And in UK, we have 25-degree Aries. But more at the same time, we have the Saturn Mars conjunction.
yep,
And in couple days, they were going to form the exact conjunct. However, on this day, where is comet?
yeah.
And the ecliptic degree is right between Saturn and Mars.
You're
So
kidding.
I'm not kidding you. You have Mars at 5-degree Aries. You have Comet at 6-degree Aries, and you have a Saturn at 7-degree Aries.
Oh
Triple
my God.
conjunction. So this is kind of you talking about you wish you would run war should be we should have a ceasefire and everything go back to well, I mean nobody like war, but this is not a happy joyful sign, to be
No,
honest.
no, it's not. And that, of course, that puts that comet. Well, the Saturn is on the Mars position for Turkey, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
comet right on their IC.
Yes, yes, yes. So comet is at this position on the new moon chart, and the ancient astrology would definitely interpret this comet with a really, I mean, nasty way. Next to Mars and the Saturn, and the right before Mars Saturn conjunction, this comet doesn't bring a auspicious meaning, in my opinion. Yeah,
I'm with you with this. I mean, can I just throw a couple of ideas with
yeah.
it?
Sure, please.
I mean, well, one thing is that we should actually talk about the possibility of earthquake. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we should, because there's plenty of evidence. I don't know if you've seen, but just off the coast of Rome, there's been a
Yeah.
cluster I mean, there's earthquakes every day, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
there's been quite an intensive cluster over this last
Mm-hmm.
month. So
Yeah.
that makes me wonder about
Possible.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also was going to say that this extraordinary stellium, I mean, and it's
Yeah.
far out, isn't it? The last time there was anything similar, that was 2011, right? And at
Oh.
that point, the price of silver really went up.
Yeah.
But then Uranus was part of the stellium, not Saturn. Right? So I'm wondering this time if we'll get a spike again with silver, but going in the other direction. Instead of it going to a high, right?
Uh-huh.
It dropping because Saturn would pull
I
things
don't want to continue. I don't want to continue because when you mentioned about the 2011, Uranus in last degree of the Pisces, right? And the very next day before Uranus moved to Aries, we have a huge east,
We had the Fukushima.
Fukushima.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh my God.
So I mean, this
I
is the
hope.
problem. This is the problem with us, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, I know.
we're essentially we're I mean, we're a bit like cave people, really. We're looking for patterns in the
Yeah,
sky.
we
That's
look for
what we do.
pattern. Yes. Yes.
And we think that because there's a similar pattern, it's going to
Mm,
be the same thing again because that's the way that our brains work.
yeah.
I think we have to almost get out of that mindset and say, well, look, we're co-creating some of this, so we should be very careful about what we say because if I start saying this is what's going to happen, right? You kind of start
Yeah.
making it happen, right?
Yeah. True.
It's very difficult finding the balance between saying, well, listen, on the evidence that I've got and all these repeating patterns, this is how I think this should go, but actually it's not how
Mm-hmm.
I want it to go. And can we
Mm,
read it differently?
yeah.
This is a really testing time. This is really testing.
I agree with you, but I think it's also like you are in the kind of a liberal balance, and I'm always in the kind of a sun in the A house disaster mode. But I think next time we should invite our dear friend Wendy join us because she's always in upper fires. It's great opportunity. We should always using that.
Well, Wendy and I share a kind of a Sagittarius overload, but yeah, yeah.
That could be a very creative, powerful energy. It's such a fabulous energy. This a Mars trigger. This is a small triangle that we are going to owe.
Well, do you know what? I've had to do quite a few lectures about the little triangle that's in the
Yeah,
sky,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I also forced myself into writing about it from a negative point of view, right?
Uh-huh.
So I
Okay.
made myself do it, and I thought, actually, you know what? This is gross manipulation through digital stuff. This is
Yes.
grotesque manipulation. This is
Yeah.
chaos. This is confusion. And
Mm-hmm,
this is,
mm-hmm.
Uranus and Pluto together in these, digital, shall we say, artificial intelligence signs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Neptune in between them, right? And
Mm.
everything becomes distorted, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, on the one hand, it's imaginative and it's the flights to the sky and it's Artemis going around the moon. As
Yeah,
that's one image of it. But in
yeah.
another image, it's colossal misinformation, right? And although
Definitely, yes.
we've just been looking at two charts which I believe to be accurate. I'm sure they are because I know the data source would be absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But you wonder, just it's how it's all interpreted. And
Mm-hmm.
we can't trust the news anymore. We used to
No,
be able
you
to
can't.
trust the news. We can't.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that was another thing that was interesting. Watching, I mean, it's always interesting to me when I go to America and watch their news or Canada, whatever. But
yeah,
watching Turkish news. Oh, and
yeah.
incidentally, one of the students bought me a gift. You would not believe what the gift was. I, it's a book on Turkish grammar, so I can learn the language.
I think you need to speak Turkish, and I will tell you, uh, um, I was stopped by the word how to say turtle in Turkish. I was on Duolingo, and they play with me. When last time we were there, I was on Duolingo every day, and then they just say, "Do you know how to say turtle?" I was just like, that vocabulary was so long, I give up.
Well, I was really, honestly, it was, I didn't even manage to see our friends there. I really wanted to connect with people there,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I had students and clients coming out of my ears. And the first week that I was there, Rod,
Mhm.
I was staying on the island, on Burgers
Yeah.
Island, and the torrential rain. I mean,
Mm.
I have never seen. There was one point I wanted to walk to the house belonging to my host's mother. I was going to
Yeah.
take something across to her. It's a small village, right? I couldn't even cross the road, right?
Wow.
The rain was coming down from the mountain, and it was just, it was a river.
Mm.
It was not, it wasn't, wasn't draining, right? It was nothing. And then we had to be got off the island before the storms got any worse. So it was,
Okay.
yeah. So it was an incredible trip in lots of ways. But I
Yeah.
was very pleased to see the White Cliffs of Dover. Can I tell you? It's like, oh,
And we are very pleased to have you home now.
well, yes, I'm home, and I was looking forward to the chat, particularly because I wanted to know about the comet, which I'm keen.
Yeah, oh yes. So, where are you going next trip?
Okay, the next trip, right? You're very good at this, right? The next trip is May. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, there's something exciting before then. You'll never believe what I'm going to do next. I've
Oh,
never done
okay.
this in my life. I'm actually going to speak at a Chelsea Arts Festival, something or other. But
Interesting.
I'm talking about Roman astrology, and I've been looking at the feast of this, and I can't pronounce it. It's famous. It begins with TR. Trimelcio or something like that. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
they had a feast where they had courses for each sign of the zodiac. So there were
Wow.
courses, and I found the recipes that some lady has researched all it. So that's really good. So I'm going to do that in April. So that's going to feel as though I've gone to Rome. Then in
Fun.
then in May, I'm going to go to Slovenia and speak at Ray
Oh, yeah.
Merriman's thing.
Yeah.
From there, I may go directly from there to Istanbul to for this event that wasn't planned but is right now,
Uh-huh.
and then come back from that before going to Canada,
Okay.
before our French holiday, before Chicago, and then after that, maybe yes. Can I tell you,
Mhm.
my cat Zeus had
Yeah.
quite a lot to say last night.
Yeah. Do you need a cat sitter? I can always just pop in. I'm very good at cat sitting.
Well, I may take you up on his offer because he is. I think it would be fair to say he used some cat expletives last night.
Yeah, okay, okay. You haven't been there for a long time. Cat always doing this.
Yes, yes, yes. So he bit me last night, which he's never done, never done.
Ouch.
But
She said,
that was just a, I'm letting you know I'm really not
yeah,
happy about
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So,
Like
yeah,
cat say, never, never let me this long.
no, don't do this again. So anyway, so I will
Yeah,
make other arrangements. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there you have it, Rod.
Yes, thank you so much. And then, well, I mean, it was so interesting to see you and then to hear what's happening in Istanbul and about the people are crazy about gold and silver. Of course, everyone is asking, is this war end?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know, you know. That's it.
Well,
But yeah,
even
yeah.
if this one ends,
Mm-hmm.
right? What I was trying to make the point is that we have pockets of really very serious war right across
Yeah,
the planet, right?
yeah, yeah,
There's nothing, there isn't really an area that you can say this is totally safe presently.
yeah.
But
True.
I think it's
Yes.
because we're under the cosh of these very big, long cycles,
Yeah.
which thankfully, we've civilizations have been through this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Mm-hmm.
have to react like this, but sadly
True.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I'm really looking forward to see you next month. Let's arrange before you go.
Yes, let's do, yeah. Let's do that in a minute. Okay.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and then see you. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we have like a mountain astrologer gallery. So I think I will join by Louisa and Leanne and Mark Cullen, and I think also Anna and Lade will join us. We are talking about the recent what happening in Iran, Israel. Also, Mark will have a look on Hungarian election, general
Oh,
election in
wow.
Hungary.
Wow.
Yeah, that is turning point. And
Yeah.
also, Anna will look at the Peru presidential election. So see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.